Thank you for your cooperation. Where are you from?
I'm from Sweden.
Okay. What brought you to Japan?
I used to live here 4 years ago as an exchange student and fell in love with the country. Wanted to come back and learn Japanese. That's why I'm here. I'm learning the language.
Okay, so you're learning language in language school.
Exactly.
Today's main topic is how do you rate living in Japan? On the scale of 1 to 10, what point will you give to the life in Japan?
I mean, I'd probably have to give it a 9 so far, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Firstly, can I ask what is the left one?
Maybe it's the fact that there's so many rules that, we need to follow and be aware of. And I think as a foreigner, we're sort of excused from it. We're not expected to behave perfectly, but still, from time to time I can feel that am I doing the right thing or not.
Okay. What kind of rule was most difficult for you to understand and to get used to?
That's a really good question. Oh, and there's one thing actually that I'm thinking about. It's talking on the phone, for example, inside a subway or bus. That's something I like to do. Talk with my friends back home or family. When I'm commuting, it's one of the only times I can do it. So the fact that I can't speak so loud.
On the contrary, you rate life in Japan 9 out of 10. It's very highly. So what do you like about life in Japan?
It's feeling very safe, and life is just so easy and very convenient as well, especially here in Tokyo. What I also like is the beauty of the country.
Yes.
I've had the opportunity to travel around different parts in Kyushu, Hokkaido, and there's so much different types of nature to find out here. So not only the quality of life, but also the quality of the surroundings and the environment here. Yeah, and then just the people are super friendly and polite, which I like a lot.
Okay. You've been to many places in Japan. Where is your favorite?
My favorite? So I have 2 favorite places. One is Miyajima. I just got a really good impression and really good vibe from that place. And a couple years ago I went to an island. It's about a couple hours from Fukuoka by boat, and it was a small island called Ojika, maybe under 1,000 people living there. And it was just very countryside. So it was a mix of Japanese countryside, the sea, and that for me just wow.
So you're currently living in Tokyo, right?
Currently living in Tokyo. Yeah.
So you've been to many places, including countryside of Japan.
Absolutely.
So if you live here in long term, where do you want to live? In countryside or in big city?
To start off with, I would start with the city because I'm still young and working. I think it's the best to stay in the big city. But I know that eventually, when I grow older, I would like to move to countryside. And Japanese countryside is very peaceful, and I really enjoy it.
In the first place, do you have a desire to live here in long term in Japan?
Long term? No. Actually, no. It depends what you mean by long term, but I could see myself maybe 2-3 years to really master the language and take in everything I can of the country. But I think eventually, it's for me, but I know for a lot of people as well. You're always drawn back to your roots, and you have friends and family in your home country.
The more you live abroad, you feel you appreciate more to your country.
It's actually very true. And one thing that's also striking is also the language, understanding people. We often take it for granted in our home countries to be able to communicate and exchange with people, and it's something that's hard here, and you realize, wow, being able to communicate with others is very precious.
Express everything about what you think in your language.
Exactly.
Lastly, what do you want to say to people who are considering to live here? Do you have some message or advice?
I would definitely recommend to try to live here. I'm very happy with my experience so far, and for some people, living here, they fall in love with it and want to stay here their whole lives. So if you haven't tried it, then you won't know. So please come.
So it was very nice to talk with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time. Where are you from?
I'm from France, from Paris.
Are you visiting or living here?
I'm here for my studies, so I'm a business student.
Today, I'm asking foreign people who are living in Japan about their life in Japan. What do you like about living in Japan?
The life is good. You feel safe in Japan. I just enjoy it.
Okay.
The city is really pretty, even by day and by night. The street fashion is good also. I like fashion.
Okay. So you like seeing fashionable young people on the street?
It's not the same as in Paris.
Okay.
So I like seeing other things.
Okay. And they fashionable in Paris? I heard that
Yeah.
Parisian also fashionable.
Yeah, we like fashion.
But it's just style is different.
Yeah, it's not the same at all.
Okay.
Maybe France is more like chic and less is more. In Japan is more like street style.
So you mentioned about some Japanese culture, which is like fashion. What part of Japanese culture is known well in France?
Anime is really well known,
yeah.
obviously, in the world. And the food. Everyone knows sushi.
Yeah, of course. For you, was it anime to decide to come here, or are there some other reason to come here?
For me, no. I like anime, obviously, but it's not my first reason. I will say my first reason is more about business. I wanted to work with Japan, as Japan is a big part in the international business.
You are currently studying, and after that, you have a desire to live here.
Maybe not live here, but work with Japan.
Probably come back to France and you want to work with Japanese. But why so? Can I ask?
Yeah, maybe because I've known some friends who work in Japan, but they have some difficulties with the work environment. But I like Japan and the Japan culture, so I want to keep in touch. So that's why I want to go back in France and work with Japan.
I see.
I will not see myself working in Japan. So.
Okay. For example, what kind of difficulties did they mention about work environment in Japan?
That you can have like the age relationship here is really difficult.
Yes.
Like if you're younger, you can't say anything to someone who is a bit older than you. Or there is a huge hierarchy. I will have difficulties with that.
Okay. So it was very nice to talk with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was nice too.
Спасибо за интервью. Откуда вы?
С Узбекистана.
Из Узбекистана. Окей. Почему вы приехали в Японию?
Учиться.
Учиться.
Да, и нас заинтересовался, что японские там культуры Японии, да.
Окей. Как вы заинтересовали японской культурой?
Да, я вообще-то спортсмен, каратист, что в Японии каратисты вообще черный пояс, первый дан, второй дан. То из-за карате я влюбился в Японию и приехал сюда.
Хорошо. У тебя есть, наверное, первый дан или что-то там?
У меня еще коричневый пояс.
Сколько лет вы занимались карате?
14 лет.
14 лет. Много. Там много спортсменов, которые занимаются карате?
Да, в Узбекистане очень много людей.
Еще дзюдо тоже?
Дзюдо вообще.
Окей, интересно. Сегодняшняя тема, насколько вы цените жизнь в Японии? То есть вы живущие в Японии, да?
Да.
Сначала, если с 1 до 10, сколько вы оцените жизнь в Японии?
В японской жизнь на 10. В Узбекистане океан нет, в Японии все...
Океан,
везде
природа
океан.
чистая там.
Окей. Вы первый раз был в океане в Японии?
Да.
Окей.
С Узбекистана в другую страну первый раз в Японии.
Окей. Какое было впечатление?
Лучше. Да.
Окей. Вы не нашли какой-то минус?
Еще нет.
Еще нет.
Еще нет?
Ищем. На работах проблем нет. Работа есть и живем несложно.
Наши зрители, наверное, хотят узнать о вашей стране тоже. А что вы советуете нам делать, если мы ездим в Узбекистан?
В Самарканд обязательно надо идти, там много исторических там зданий, там Амир Тимур, там
Исторический
весело.
город просто.
Они тепло принимают туристов?
Да, вообще очень тепло
Всех тепло принимают.
Там много японцев туристы есть, мы видели в детстве.
И какое блюдо вы рекомендуете?
О, это плов.
Плов.
Да, плов лучше. Узбекский плов.
Кстати, в Японии есть, где можно
Да,
кушать?
Да, есть.
На Такаданабабе Самарканд террас. Самаркандские люди готовят плов.
Да.
Самарканд
Наверное,
террас.
я был там.
Да.
Самарканд террас.
Последнее, что вы хотите сказать людям, которые хотят приехать в Японию, хотят жить в Японии?
Ну, в первую очередь знать японский язык.
Да, без японского трудно.
Без японского
здесь.
языка трудно здесь жить. Знать японский.
Окей. Это было очень хорошо говорить с вами. Спасибо.
Спасибо большое.
Thank you for your time. Where are you from?
I'm from Ireland.
Okay. Are you visiting or living here?
I've been living in Kyoto actually since last year, since September. I was an exchange student in Kyoto University and now I am doing a Japanese language study school because I want to take the Master's Nyugaku Shiken entrance exam to Kyoto University.
Okay. So you're currently like preparing for...
Preparing, yeah.
Okay. Since today's topic is about life in Japan, on the scale of 1 to 10, how much do you rate life in Japan?
Absolutely 9.5. It's fantastic.
In general, about life in Japan, what do you think is good part of living in Japan, and what part is negative part of living in Japan?
Will I start with the negative or the good? The negative sometimes is that it's a little bit alienating. When you are a foreigner, sometimes it's hard to make Japanese friends. You know, like up until like my Japanese spoken skill wasn't very good until maybe 6 months here. But after that, the best parts is that like when you do get over that hurdle, everyone is very welcoming, everyone is very loving, everyone is very kind, and also the society here is just so safe. It's just so peaceful and relaxing. You know, I love the fact that I can walk around, you know, things are going to work, the society is going to work, I'm not going to be robbed, I'm not going to be bothered on the street, I'm not going to be harassed. So thank you, Japan, honestly.
Do you have a desire to live here long time and work here?
Currently I can see myself, like I really enjoy the research kind of environment that Japan has as far as I can see. I went to do interviews with a few colleges here about doing masters and things like this, and I can definitely see myself living here for a good few years. Like I don't want to leave, I love it here, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, so hopefully after that I can find some workplace here.
Lastly, what do you want to say to people who are considering to live in Japan?
Please come, you won't regret it. It's a beautiful place, and it's also going to be completely life-changing in a way that you probably don't realize now, but is going to benefit you, I think, for the rest of your life.
So it was very nice to talk with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
ご視聴ありがとうございました。いかがだったでしょうか？動画のご感想やテーマのご要望などコメント欄で教えていただけますと幸いです。たくさんのコメントお待ちしております。チャンネル登録の際は通知ボタンもお忘れなく。